Hi everybody. Um, I'm going to talk about. I just wanted to make this video to address the other side of the coin with this space-time-mind stuff, because I know I've kind of said some pretty crazy things like there's no difference between inner and outer space, and everything's a dream, and all that stuff. So, okay, let me get straight to the point here. Okay, first off, it's very difficult to talk about stuff like this with words. And I'll show you why exactly. Um, when you're talking about totality consciousness, words become almost meaningless. Um, and that's because you're really only talking about one thing, one noun. It. And by, or this. And by that I mean everything. Everything. Absolutely everything that exists or doesn't exist or anything. Just it. This. You can call it the universe, but you don't even need to get that fancy. You can just call it this. You know? So, if you're starting with a big statement like the mind creates reality, okay, then you've got two nouns and a verb. You got the mind, a noun, creates, verb, reality, noun. Okay, but if you've already said that there's only one noun, this. You've already eliminated the need for, the sentence is already getting pretty absurd. This creates this. Okay. But the totality is also all time and all process and all action too. So verbs, it's a noun and a verb. It's all together. So you don't even need the verb. So this. This is this. This. So again, you can just say this. And what? Okay, so that's just an example of like, how you can't argue with that logic. I'm sorry, you just can't even. If you're seeing everything as one thing, there isn't too much of a need for language. Language is part of the left brain actually, and it's the same type of activity as the analytical mind, is breaking things down and smashing atoms and stuff like that. So, being a scientist basically, and more and more I'm seeing this. There's totality consciousness, in which you've given up an analysis, and in that state you're experiencing. You're exploring. You're in action. You don't need to be analyzing things. You're in the experience itself, and then there's analyzing things, which means that you are trying to clarify them for specific purposes. Either to build something or to just understand something's parts or whatever. But the way it functions in a specific case, in a specific situation. Okay, so I gotta admit, I've never seen the mind creating reality, and I don't know if that means too much. I mean, what does that mean exactly? But even on a more ordinary level, let's look at the similarity between inner and outer space. Okay, let's call inner space a dream. Say you're having a dream, you're walking around in a room and talking to some people, and that's it. Okay, and then in outer space, you could also be doing that, walking around in a room and talking to some people. Okay, but the similarity really seems to end there, I mean, if we be totally honest here. In the dream, you can walk out of the room, and then you can come back, the people will all be disappeared, or they're changed into something different, or the room is totally different, or, in physical reality, that doesn't happen. Let's just, be straight. That doesn't happen. You walk out, you come back, it's the same room. Okay? Okay, so, incredible things are possible, I know, and all kinds of weird things have happened, but, whether that exactly says it's a dream, or whether that just means certain things are possible in when you get to a certain level of mastery of using matter and energy or something, you know, I mean, certain things are theoretic. I mean, even scientists are learning how to teleport things now and time travel and things. But that doesn't mean that you know, I don't. I mean, it doesn't mean that it is or isn't a dream. That isn't exactly all that dream-like, in a way. Although, you know, you know, I think the dream thing means that you're going to wake up from it. But I think the confusion here comes from the idea that people think that their egos are creating things, and the ego is itself kind of an illusion or a lie. It's not the ego. It's not your limited ego that's creating anything. So everything is like already happened. All space-time being one, it's all already happened. Uh, and so there's some kind of, so it's almost like something that's solid, you know, it's almost already happened. Time all being solid, that already brings a whole different dimension into it, you know. So yeah, incredible things are possible, but only if they're part of the script, you might say, or part of the dream, part of the this thing's big dream, which is totally not up to you, really, as an ego, to play around with. You know, I mean, it just, what am I trying to say? Um, yeah. So, I mean, let's just, you know, again, it's getting kind of blah, blah, blah. I mean, I've never teleported, I've never floated, I've never walked on walls. You can't do that just because you say, you know, it's a dream, you know. So it is definitely very different. It doesn't work like that, you know. Clearly just doesn't work like that. I mean, yogis getting to a certain level of mastery and doing things is a different thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a dream. Uh, what does that mean? Again, it's a dream. I mean, there you go. You got a sentence, you know. I mean, in fact, I think we should do more with this because I think the dream just, I mean, I think when you realize the non-egoic quality of it, that maybe is when you can begin to do really incredible things or explore really incredible things. But I just wanted to say that I'd be the first to admit that I've never done any of that stuff, and there are glaring differences between inner and outer space. So, all right, I can see I'm running out of time, but see you later.